you guys? Happy Thursday. I hope you guys are having an amazing week. If you guys are watching the replay, always let me know in the comments with #replay. And if you guys are watching on YouTube, don't forget to click subscribe right here with this button and give me a thumbs up if you find any sort of value in this video. Now, today I'm talking about, I feel like I've been getting requests for this a lot, so I'm so excited to talk about LinkedIn marketing for beginners. Today, I'm going to give you guys 4 steps you need to take. Now, this is kind of like setting up the profile, but also how to engage on LinkedIn in order to see the most results ROI from the platform. Because if you don't know by now, LinkedIn is one of the hottest platforms to be on for entrepreneurs, for corporations, for CEOs, for any ambitious person that's looking to be literally serious about their business, but not only that, be surrounded by people that are also encouraging, uplifting, and also serious about their business. That's what LinkedIn is. It's a business networking platform. And I feel like it's been around for forever. But up until recently, I know they've had like a couple algorithm changes where it's really become a place to be like supporting, uplifting, but also share business wins and also do business with other people. So today I'm going to give you guys 4 ways that you can set up your LinkedIn profile for success. Now, this is for beginners. So if you're like already LinkedIn like expert, you can like skip this video. But this video is for LinkedIn marketing for beginners. So my background with LinkedIn is I started using LinkedIn seriously probably for the last 6 to 9 months. Now I feel like it's just like taking off. I have 3,100 followers on LinkedIn. Probably every day I probably get 100 to 200 followers on LinkedIn. Like it's just booming. I feel like that's how every social media network is that you have to use it longer than you think, but once you use it long enough and you start getting that traction, that's when everything starts snowballing. So like I said, I have 3,100 followers on LinkedIn. So I'm going to give you guys my tips as to how I started gaining that traction, what happens in the beginning, just like talk about my experience. So if you guys ever have any questions at all, always let me know in the comments. That's why I come on live on Facebook. That's why I repurpose it onto YouTube, is to answer your guys' questions, whether you're watching live or the replay. So some of these are going to sound like a duh, and also some of these tips that I give you can use across any social media network. So if you're not really all about LinkedIn yet, you should still stay tuned because this works for any social media network. So the first tip that I'm going to give you guys to be successful on LinkedIn is that you need to have a clear profile picture of yourself. Now, like I said, everyone's probably like, duh, Kylie, like, yeah, you need a picture of yourself, right? But you'd be shocked as the amount of people on LinkedIn that don't have a profile picture, or the trend that's still where it's like people have a picture of their cat, their dog. There was literally this profile picture that I took a picture of yesterday where a guy has a picture of a dog that was pooping. And I was like, seriously, people, like this is LinkedIn. Like that is not going to work. No one's going to take you seriously if you don't have a clear picture of yourself. Now, another misconception about LinkedIn is that a lot of people think you need to be in like a C-suite or like super professional, like corporate position, like be a pharmacist or like, you know, CEO, XYZ 1, 2, 3. You do not have to. You do not have to be this corporate head honcho in order to use LinkedIn, in order to get business through LinkedIn. But you also need to take yourself seriously. So take the time, get in good lighting, like I said on my Facebook live stream, how to do your first Facebook live stream video. Get in that good lighting like I am now and just take a selfie, take a picture until you can get, you know, another picture taken of you. Mine's literally a selfie. It doesn't have to be something crazy. You don't have to go out and like be in a business suit in order to have a good picture on LinkedIn, but just make sure that it's a clear photo of yourself, because that's the first thing that people see when they come across your profile. They see your picture, and the second tip that I'm going to give you is that they see the title of who you are and what you do. Okay, so this is different than a lot of other social media networks. So what we see is like, we usually see the picture, the name, and then like, you know, the little about me section if it's on Instagram, if it's on Facebook, depending upon if it's a business page or a personal page, there's a little blurb about yourself, which we'll get to in a second. But one thing that's awesome about LinkedIn, which is similar to Pinterest, is that you have your profile picture, but then you have your name and a title. So what this title is going to explain, and this is what you want in your LinkedIn title, is what you do. Okay. Now, because I'm on Facebook, I know, or Instagram, anyone that's watching this, and you haven't been on a platform that's like as serious as LinkedIn, You have to be clearly specific about what you do. So if you're into like tarot cards and like magic and like woo-woo stuff, you can't like make your LinkedIn title, you know, magical woo-woo fairy that's like the coach to, you know, witches and whatever. Like that's like Facebook, okay? Keep that wording onto Facebook. When it comes to LinkedIn, remember, people go to LinkedIn. The end user psychology is I want to go on LinkedIn to learn about business. It's all business, okay? So you're going to get high level CEOs. You're going to get, like, you can rub shoulders with like the CEO of Coca-Cola. You can rub shoulders with Oprah. Like, all of these people are using LinkedIn. So we have to speak in the language that they can understand us. So if they need our help, they understand what we're saying. Okay, so for example, my title on LinkedIn is that I'm a social media marketing consultant to CEOs and online entrepreneurs. I have my Post to Profit courses. I'm an influencer to 145,000 people online, and I'm also a keynote speaker. So I tap into different areas of what I do on my LinkedIn title. It just doesn't have to be like, you know, Kylie Francis business coach. That was just like a random example, okay? Dive in, I don't know how many characters there are. I want to say there's probably like 100 per letter. So make sure you fill up all the characters, because another thing about LinkedIn too is that it's very keyword focused. So what that means is you have to use words that people search for. So that goes back to like the woo-woo witchy example. If you kind of have this like, I'm a butterfly whisperer and I'm like woo-woo angel of the gods, right? Like, no one is searching for that on LinkedIn. Even if you are, that's fine. But use words that people are searching for, because people are searching for the solution to their problem. They're looking for somebody that has what you have to offer. So you have to put in the title what you actually embody, and then you can elaborate more on what you do in the About Me section of the profile. So the third tip that I have for you guys, you got the profile picture, you got the title with the keywords in it. The third tip is to take time to build out your profile. So I actually got this message the other day from somebody who has about 7,000 followers on LinkedIn. They have more than me, and they're like, hey, I have a lot of followers, but I'm not getting a lot of engagement on my posts. Like, can you give me some tips on my profile? And I said, sure. So I went over and I looked at his profile, and I noticed he doesn't have an About Me section. And I think on LinkedIn, this is huge, because people buy off of emotion and they justify with logic. What that means is that story, if you're still struggling with storytelling and you're in sales, marketing, business, you really need to make that a priority to learn this year for your online business. Storytelling is everything. Now, I'm not saying tell a fake story. I'm just saying in a way that you can take your story and put it in almost like a movie type setting. So when people read about your story, they understand it and they're moved by it. So what I mean by, or what I want you guys to do with the About Me section is I want you guys to like go take a look at it and be like, okay, I'm not going to like spew that I have like all these accolades and awards, but it's like, I'm going to share my story. So your About Me section should share your story. And I'm going to actually I'll leave that link to my LinkedIn profile. My LinkedIn profile is linkedin.com/in/Kylie Francis. I will leave that link below on Facebook, and I will leave it on YouTube. If you guys want to check it out, you can always look at mine, not to copy, but just to see how I have mine set up, and you guys can compare the two, okay? So what's really important about the About Me section is that you guys have to remember that when people first go to your LinkedIn profile, they're going to see your picture, they're going to see the title, and they're going to see like, obviously they're going to see like the colleges and like where you went to high school, but then they're going to see the About Me section. This is very important for you to take time to fill out. I think you get about I should have looked at all the numbers specifically. I want to say like 500 characters. I would say I have 4 paragraphs on LinkedIn. But what you want to do is like when you go and fill out the About Me section, you're not going to say like, I'm Kylie and I love social media and hire me. Okay, that's not what we're gonna do. We're gonna share our story. And your story is quite literally like how you got started, like what makes you different, what makes you stand out, what makes you unique. That's what you're gonna write about in the About Me section, okay? So You have the profile picture, title, about me section, and then another thing that's super important with LinkedIn, like I said, LinkedIn is very keyword focused. So what that means is like when you have a lot of keywords, like the same keywords. So for example, mine is social media marketing, entrepreneurship, you get it, right? When you go and you create your LinkedIn profile, you want to make sure that all of the keywords in your profile are centered around what you do, because the more that are in there, the more likely that your profile is going to show up in the search. Because like I said in the beginning of this video, LinkedIn is like in its prime right now. Like, you know, when they say, like when people are like, oh man, I wish I was on Instagram, like right when it started. That's LinkedIn right now, okay? So if you're not on LinkedIn yet and you've kind of been thinking about it, like now is the time to like do everything that I'm saying in this video, okay? So when you have your About Me section on your profile, the next thing you're gonna see when you go down from your About Me section is you're going to see skills, okay? So what this is, it's a way to input keywords for LinkedIn. So for example, my skills would be Pinterest marketing, LinkedIn marketing, social media marketing, like social media, influencer, like all these skills. Like you can input your own skills or you can use the ones that LinkedIn have on, like they kind of like pop up like as you type them in, kind of like a guided keyword search. Now, another amazing thing about skills is that people can endorse you for these skills. So when you start growing your LinkedIn profile and you start highlighting, I'm going to get into this later into this like webinar-ish live stream, but later people can start endorsing you for your skills, which shows off your expertise, okay? Another thing in the profile that's so awesome that you can add is publications. So what is cool about this is that you can kind of show off what you do without kind of having to post about it like once every couple of days, like on Instagram and Facebook, okay? So the hub of a LinkedIn profile is essentially showcasing who you are, what you do, what your business is, who you work for, you know, what your business is about, all of those good things. But it's so super important that you do not skip this step. It does take a while because you got like the cover photo too. You can make the cover photo really cool, kind of like you can on Facebook. But it's so super important that you take the time to do the nitty-gritty stuff in the beginning, because guess what? If you only, you know, put your profile picture, your title of just like business coach, and then like, you know, you say you work for yourself and whatever, people just aren't going to take you as seriously as if you take time to write out your story. You add a couple publications, like if you were featured in Forbes, Thrive Global, like, I don't know, if you have a YouTube channel, I have my YouTube channel over there as well. Go and highlight these things in the beginning, okay? Because when people come to your profile, LinkedIn is very much a first impression type vibe, right? When people come to your profile, they're either gonna be impressed or you're gonna look like everybody else. So why not take the time to like make a standout profile so you literally stand out from the swarms of people that are now just starting to use LinkedIn, okay? So that's like the profile sense of it. Now notice how I talked about the profile before how to engage and grow your LinkedIn, because that's what's more important, okay? Like I said, I used the example earlier. This guy has 7,000 followers and he's like, I have followers, but I'm not getting engagement. And it's like, because people can't connect with you. Like they don't know who you are. They don't know what you do. They don't know like why they should be supporting you, kind of like that whole gist, okay? So just make sure, like I said, you have the good profile picture in the lighting, just like this. It doesn't have to be a professional like headshot. I think like if you learn anything from this video is scrap the notion that LinkedIn is corporate, okay? That LinkedIn has to be like super professional, because it's not, okay? I think that's how it was. Like, I don't even know when LinkedIn started, but it started a while ago. I think that used to be the vibe on LinkedIn, but that's why people didn't really use the platform, because they're kind of like, well, I'm not a data person. Like, I'm not an analytics, like, you know, nerd or whatever. Like, I'm not either. Like, I was like, why am I on here? Like, all I'm seeing are numbers and stuff, and I'm already getting a headache after being on this platform for 2 seconds of going over to Instagram, and I'm going to go look at some memes, right? So now that LinkedIn kind of like, it's funny because it's not, it loosened up, but it's still professional, which is what I love about it, is that it's so supportive. People like support each other. Like it's just an amazing place if you are serious about your business and you are looking for a platform to get more business, okay? So, so we have the profile set up. Now, how do you start getting traction to your profile? How do you start getting people like to be like, oh, I love Kylie. Like I love her story. I saw her profile picture, all of these things. Okay. So this is what you're going to do. So on LinkedIn, you can either follow people or you can connect with people. Now, I am not going to tell you to go and connect with every single person under the sun so your vanity metrics go sky high, okay? That's not what we are doing, right? What we're going to do is that if you know your niche, you're going to go find influencers in your niche and you're going to follow them, okay? So this is important because now you're starting to fill up your feed with people that are in your sector, okay? So after you follow people that are in your niche, think of a number, more than one, and like you can go as much as you want. Okay. You don't have to like add or follow people like 5,000 people in a day. I think I follow like 60 people or something like that. But I also have a lot of connections now. So I'm seeing a lot of profiles on my feed. But this is the most important part that I'm going to tell you. And this is why this is the key difference between if you're going to get authentic engagement on LinkedIn or if you're just going to get more followers. Is you need to take the time to comment on the influencer's posts within the first 30 minutes of them posting a post or whatever, okay? Why the first 30 minutes? Because like I say on all of my live streams, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, they're all time-sensitive platforms, which is the complete opposite of YouTube, podcasting, Pinterest, and blogging, sorry. So what this means is that time actually matters. More specifically, if we're following people that already have like tens of thousands of followers, because quite frankly, if you're not like there in the first 30 minutes, the post already has about 200 to 500 comments, okay? And the reason why commenting is so much more powerful than liking people's posts, you can do both. I'm not saying you can't like, but I'm saying focus on commenting, because when you go to somebody's posts and you comment, every single other person that's looking at that post or is connected to that person is seeing what you had to say, okay? Now take note of this. What you're not gonna do is you're not gonna comment like 8 hearts. You're not gonna comment like 10 like check marks, like check. You are going to leave a thoughtful comment. Now, what is a thoughtful comment? What is a valuable comment? I have somebody ask me that before. They're like, well, what is value? What is a thoughtful comment? It's like if you write something that adds to the post or something that you know somebody else can learn from. That's a thoughtful comment. I'm going to tell you guys what thoughtful comments are not. Thoughtful comments are not like the emojis. Thoughtful comments aren't just like tagging 80 people so they see your post. Thoughtful comments are not, when you're just like, yeah, like you saying that, like, yes, you commented, even if you're the first comment and you just go, yeah, and you leave like the thumbs up, you're not bringing any value to the table, okay? People are going to see it, but you're not going to stand out because you're just kind of like, yeah, like anybody can say, yeah, like anyone can say like, hey, what's up? But it's like, how can you show off that you're an expert? How can you show off your knowledge by contributing to somebody else's posts? That's what I want you to think about. And that's how you're going to be successful on LinkedIn. Okay. Because remember, when you comment, guess what people can see on LinkedIn? They can see your profile picture, which I already talked about. That was why it was the first thing that I told you guys to focus on. And they see your title, not just your name. So this isn't Facebook and Instagram where you go on and it's like the picture with your name. It's like the picture, your name, and then like the first couple characters, I want to say it's like 10 to 15 of what you do. All right. So when you leave a thoughtful comment, and let's just say the post, let's just say Gary Vaynerchuk makes a post and I'm like one of the 5th, 10th people to comment. It's in the first 30 minutes of what he posted it. And I can leave a thoughtful comment that relates to that post, but adds more value or elaborates on that post. All of the people that follow Gary Vaynerchuk follow him for some rhyme or reason, okay? I can guarantee you a big chunk of those people are following him because of what he does with social media, the impact that he has on the social media world, okay? So if I can leave a thoughtful comment about what I know about the subject that he just talked about, and I have a good profile picture, my name's there, it says I'm a social media marketing consultant to CEOs, corporations, like that's probably the first part that people are gonna see. They're not gonna be able to see the whole title, but they're gonna be like, oh, that girl also knows what she's talking about because not only did she say it, but I'm seeing that she's a social media marketing consultant. So what do you think people are gonna do? They're gonna follow me, or they're not. But there's a highly likely chance that those people are going to follow me because they see that I'm providing value with the post. Do you guys understand this? If you guys are understanding this and you're loving this, let me know in the comments. If you're on YouTube, give me a thumbs up if you guys love this so far. So the main thing to focus on LinkedIn, it's not just like, how can I get more followers, but it's like, how can I make the most impact by sharing my experience, sharing my knowledge, sharing educational posts about what I know, okay? So that's the second part of the equation. So the first part of the equation is building the standout profile. That's the first part. So like if you're already a little bit overwhelmed, this video is in 3 sections. That's the first section. And if you're just hopping on now, I already explained that in the beginning. So it's building the standout profile. The second part of the equation is, okay, I need to fill my feed with people in my niche. More importantly, influencers in my niche. And the influencers can be anybody from like, don't worry about the follower count. It can be like 3,000 followers. It can be 10,000. It can be like 2 million. Just know that the higher the follower, the faster you need to comment on that post, okay? Because it's a time-sensitive platform. What does that mean? That means when people post, time's a ticking. It's a ticking time bomb, okay? It's the opposite of search engine social media channels, Pinterest, YouTube, podcasting, and blogging, because those are search engines, okay? People search for the solution to their problem. When you're on LinkedIn, it's kind of like whatever pops up on the feed. But why LinkedIn is so awesome right now and why everyone should hop on it now if you want to is because the algorithm is to our advantage, okay? It's kind of like how Instagram was back in like 2014. Like it's like crazy. Like you can log on to LinkedIn and you can see posts from a week ago. Just like, does anybody remember how that was with Instagram? Like when we could log on and like you actually saw the posts you wanted to see and you were like, wow, it's in chronological like time-based order. Like that's actually what I wanted to see. Not just like add, like random posts, like whatever, like 2 hours ago, 10 hours ago, then like 2 minutes ago. You guys get my drift. So that's why LinkedIn is so powerful right now, is because the algorithm is to our advantage. But not only that, especially for online entrepreneurs and especially for online business owners, LinkedIn is business. Like when people go on LinkedIn, that's their mindset. That's the end user psychology. It's like, I'm going on LinkedIn to post about my business, to post about my experiences, to get business, to interact with people that are interested in, wanting help or wanting to like collaborate. You guys get my drift, okay? So we have this standout profile. We have the following of the influencers. That's how you're going to fill up your feed with people that are also potentially interested in you. So another thing I didn't tap into that I kind of just want to say briefly is you're probably like, okay, Kylie, why do I need to follow people just in my niche? And it's because the people that follow them could be interested in you. You're probably not as untouchable as the person that has 10 million followers, okay? So don't ever think because you don't have followers that like you're not good enough, because you can really use that to your advantage if you know how to tap into that. And I'm telling you how, okay? Following people in your niche, for example, my example would be Gary Vaynerchuk, because he has millions of followers. And for a lot of people, he seems untouchable, right? But because I'm a practitioner in social media, I probably know just as much as he does about it. So I can leave my value on his posts. People can see me. And you know what? Just because they follow someone doesn't mean that they relate to them as well as they can relate to you. That's another important thing to take note of. So just make sure that you go and follow the influential leaders in your niche. After that, You're commenting by leaving a valuable comment on their post within the first 30 minutes of them posting it. And I already said why, but I'll say it again, is because it's a time-sensitive platform. So the majority of the people that are seeing this post, like your post is going to be bumped up to the top if you're one of the first, 50 comments, okay? Because if you go on a post and you're like the 1,000th, 50th comment on the post, there's just the post is pretty much dead. Like I said, time-sensitive platforms are ticking time bombs. So and this is only if you can leave a valuable comment, right? I'm not telling you to drop emojis. I'm not telling you to be yeah, awesome, true. That's not what you're going to do. You're going to leave a thoughtful comment and you're going to show off your expertise on what that person said on that post. Now, if you can't do that, on that specific post, that's okay. You don't have to comment. I'm not saying you need to comment on every single time that influencer posts on social media, but I'm just saying the reason why you want to comment, you can as well, but why you want to focus on commenting over liking is because when people go and they look at that post, let's just say this person has 10 million followers. Let's say you're the third comment, right? All of those people are going to see your comment. So like I said, LinkedIn's very much a first impression type of platform, which is why I said build the profile first. When they see your profile picture, your title, they go and they read the valuable comment that you said. What do you think's going to happen there? You're giving off a really great first impression to 10 million followers that aren't even yours, okay? And you're supporting that person by commenting on them. So they're seeing your comment, you're supporting them. Other people are seeing your comment. Other people now know that you exist. Other people are going to click on your profile. And guess what they're going to do? They're either going to follow you or they're not going to follow you. But I guarantee you, if you already set up your profile and you make a good first impression, they're going to follow you, okay? So yeah, that's kind of the whole beginner process of LinkedIn is I think I broke it down into 3 steps is to make sure if there's something that's so important, and I know so many people skip this step because it's easy. It's one of those duh things where it's oh, I don't want to write about myself. I don't profile picture. I'll take one later. I'll take a selfie later, title, I'll do that later. But it's no, if you take the time to build out that first part and then you go and follow the people that are in your niche, and then you go and comment on their posts, you're going to get people to your profile. Now, this is the last and final step that needs to be in conjunction with commenting on other people's posts, is that you need to post every single day with a thoughtful, valuable post, okay? Because guess what? If you have no content for people to follow, people aren't going to follow you, okay? I got this question over on my YouTube channel. Someone was like, Kylie, I'm struggling with growing followers. I don't know what to do. And I was like, okay, I'll check it out for you. He didn't have any videos. So I was like, I think it's so easy to get wound up in all the things commenting and doing all the things. You probably got some freebie checklists online and you're check, but where are the followers? And it's well, you still have to provide that value. You have to be an account that people want to follow, okay? And one of my favorite ways to provide content onto LinkedIn is to repurpose my content. I'm gonna leave that link up here on YouTube and I'll leave it below in the comments, but it's a video that I did before and it was all about how to repurpose your content. So this does not have to be, I don't want you guys to think that LinkedIn has to be this other platform where it's oh my God, it's another platform that I need to go on and create content for and I don't have enough hours in the day, blah, 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 right? LinkedIn can be simple, right? We just need to learn how to repurpose our content. I already did a live stream training on that. It's another webinar. Linked it up here, down below on Facebook. So it's so important to be a source of value on LinkedIn. And if you start LinkedIn now, before the, like I said, this is Instagram back in 2013. Algorithm, you see posts from a week ago. You see valuable posts. You see the posts you actually want to see, your posts last. Like I said, right now I have 3,100 followers on LinkedIn. My post the other day It had almost 6,000 views. That's double the amount of followers that I have, okay, for one post. Like, that's how amazing LinkedIn is right now. So you have to take the time to build out that profile, follow people in your niche, but a lot of LinkedIn just has to do with supporting other people while also providing that daily valuable content for your followers. Because remember, you can get people to follow you, but if you're not providing any, it's just like Instagram. It's like when people are like, well, I'm struggling with more followers. Well, it's like, well, do you post valuable content? And they're like, no. And I'm like, well, what's the point for people following you then, right? So just keep all of those tips in mind. But I think like if you learn anything from this live stream is that this order, profile, okay? Go follow the people that are in your niche. Go start commenting on other people's posts while at the same time, just once a day, you can do it by repurposing your content. It doesn't have to be the Kim Kardashian selfie that's famous on Facebook groups paired with the Oprah Winfrey script, all of this stuff. It doesn't have to be this extravagant novel. That's another thing too. There's actually a character count on LinkedIn, which is another reason why I loved it or love it, because I'll have like these posts that are like super long and it's like, you can't post this, you need to delete some stuff. And I'm like, it actually has taught me how to be like more succinct with my stories, which is, like I said, another thing I love about LinkedIn. And another thing too with LinkedIn is that it just came out with a live stream option, which isn't available to everybody just yet, but it will be in the future. And another thing too is that you can post videos on LinkedIn. So if you want to take like a selfie video and it's like 30 seconds long and that's all the time that you have in the day because you're like a busy mom and you just like want to get that word out, but you also want to grow that know, like, and trust factor just by hopping on a video, do that. So I've seen a lot of people that have had great success just by posting mini videos each day. Like, I don't want you guys to overthink this. And I also don't, I already said this before and I'm going to say it again. I don't want you guys to think that LinkedIn is only for like corporate C-suite, you know, business suit and tie type of people, because it's not, okay? Do I look like that? No, and even if I did, I would tell you that I'm not, okay? But I'm growing very rapidly on LinkedIn, and the way that you grow is by showing up daily, consistently, doesn't have to be crazy, just do it once a day, provide valuable content in your niche, but also take the time to follow other people and support their journeys as well. Because guess what? That's how you're gonna get collaboration projects. That's how you're gonna like meet new people. And that's how like you grow your business, okay? Like I said, that's like probably the main thing that I love about LinkedIn over all the other platforms is that the end user psychology is business. Every morning when I open that app, I'm like, I got business on my mind. Like, I'm like, I know when I get messages on LinkedIn, it's business. I mean, I do still get some creep comments, which if you're watching and you do that, like I'm not afraid to block either. Like you do still get the creep comments, but not as much as Instagram and Facebook. When people go on LinkedIn, they are serious about business. So if you're serious about your business and you're like struggling on Facebook groups right now, you're kind of struggling with Instagram because the algorithm is the bell curve. Like I'll link that up here again in another video that I did before about how the organic reach is dead. If you're just tired of that and you want to go on a platform where people are going to take you more seriously because the end user psychology is business and not like Baby Yoda memes, go to LinkedIn, okay? So if you follow these steps, this is LinkedIn Marketing for Beginners. If you guys want to see another video where I kind of deep dive on how I do all of my strategies on LinkedIn, let me know in the comments because I want to start talking more about LinkedIn. I wanted to get my feet wet first before I did like a full tutorial webinar type video, but now that my LinkedIn's growing pretty rapidly, I kind of have the same process. I can go over that in another video if you guys are interested. Just let me know in the comments whether you're watching now or the replay on Facebook or on YouTube. So yeah, like I said, the 4 steps. But if you're a beginner and you don't have a profile yet, please go in order, okay? Because remember, you can do all the things over here. You can follow all the people, you can comment, whatever. No one's gonna follow you if they don't know what you do. No one's gonna follow you if you don't have a profile picture. You don't have a title. you don't have any publications, like you don't have any, you didn't take time to build the beef of the profile, which is what people see first before they follow you. Okay. So I'm going to see what you guys say in the comments. And if you guys have any questions before I log off, let me know. Okay. Hey, Kristen, how are you? Okay. So Lori says, if I have a company page and I shared a blog post with tips, how can I share it on my personal LinkedIn? I am admin. I can't figure it out. Why don't you just copy and paste the link so every time you do a blog post, you get a link to that article, just copy and paste that link onto your personal page if you're having trouble sharing it from your company page over to your personal page, because at the end of the day, the traffic is still going to that blog post. So I would just recommend that. Okay, Mark's on. Hey. Okay, Mark says, I've had great growth on LinkedIn. Yes, Mark's another LinkedIn expert. Me and Mark, I think we kind of hopped on at the same time, and we're just we're going all in on LinkedIn. Let's do this. So I'm excited to see Mark's success this year on LinkedIn. So that's another cool thing too, is that when you kind of start when before it's cool and you see everyone's growth, it's just it's crazy. I look back and I was it was just a couple, it felt like days ago where I was only getting a couple likes on my post, but now I'm upping towards 80 to 100 likes. And I'm getting double the amount of ROI from what I put in on the post. So what I mean by that is this. If I have 3,000 followers on LinkedIn, my posts are seeing almost 6,000 people are seeing my post on LinkedIn. Does that happen on Instagram? No. Does that happen on Facebook? No. Only if you pay for advertising. So like I said, LinkedIn is for you if you want to make it for you. Let go of the expectations that it's for corporate. Let go of the expectations that it's for I need to have a suit and tie and be a C-suite executive in order to use LinkedIn. You don't, okay? But what you do need to do is you need to build your profile. You need to show up every day with content, valuable content, and you also need to comment on influential leaders in your niche on their posts. That's how you grow. That's the cycle for growing. And I said it earlier in this video that a lot of the tips that I gave throughout this video, you can use for any social media platform. It's all about doing the three things simultaneously, because what a lot of people do is when they start on social media is they will create a profile. They'll go balls to the wall. They'll have 100 posts in a day. And they're I have 2 followers. I don't get why I'm not successful. And it's because it takes consistent time. It's not a race to vanity, okay? Consistency over vanity always wins on social media. So if you guys stuck to the end, if you guys love this video, let me know in the comments. If you're on YouTube, give me a like and subscribe if you love this video. And yeah, like I said, if you want me to deep dive more onto LinkedIn, more marketing strategies, also let me know. This was the first LinkedIn marketing video that I ever did. And I'm not gonna lie, I kind of had a lot of fun doing it just because right now I'm at 3,100 followers on LinkedIn. So I can't wait to see in the next year, when I go back to this video, I'll be oh my God, I was such a baby. Same with Mark too. I see Mark still on. Mark says, did you just say balls to the wall? LOL. Yes, I did. Laurie said, thanks, it worked. Okay, I'm so glad that worked for you, Laurie. Thank you for letting me know. So I hope you guys have an amazing Thursday. And if you guys have any questions ever related to anything social media marketing, Pinterest, YouTube, blogging, LinkedIn, more LinkedIn stuff, Instagram, Facebook groups, let me know in the comments your guys' questions, because your question could quite literally and always be anonymously the topic of my next live stream. So I hope you guys have an amazing Thursday, and I will see you guys on the next live stream. Bye, guys.